Hello, everyone, and welcome. Welcome to the Human Performance Lab. So, today I'm not going to get into a lot of teaching. I'm actually really just going to focus on trading. Of course, if you have questions, please definitely be sure to ask. I will definitely answer anything that comes up, but I am not going to focus on teaching here in this session. I'm actually going to be focusing on just trading. I'm just getting my area set up here. All right, let's get into it. I'm probably only going to be on for about an hour or two. Today I've got videos that I need to record and other things going on, so I probably won't be on all that long. But we'll see. We shall see. All right, so I got areas here forming from other time frames. Let me see if I want to keep any of those or if I'm going to be deleting them. All right. Price action's currently trading up here in the highs. So immediately I'm thinking possible sell off and move down. Let me remove all my drawings on each one of my time frames here. Hello, Parker. Welcome. I am just getting my chart set up here for a replay. I'm really going to be focusing on trading today. I'll be answering questions, so if you have questions, please definitely let me know. I'm primarily going to be working on just focusing on trading itself. Okay, there we go. All my areas are gone. So now I have my area up here and this time frame that shows up on the 30-minute now. I'm looking for an area in here. Because I really want to be in a place where the next week or two I am live trading. I was already live on my cash account, but I don't really think that's going to help individuals moving forward. Most individuals are trading prop and different things along those lines. And the way you need to manage your positions, position sizing, risk management, all that in a cash account comparatively in a prop account is completely different. And so I really feel like it's doing a disservice to individuals trading a cash account and what I can do in my own cash account comparatively to what needs to be done in a prop account. So I'm going to try my hand at it and see what happens. I'm doing a lot of teaching when I'm live right now, not a lot of focusing on actually on my trading itself. And that's why I'm still sim. But my goal is to just come in, focus on trading, and then let the teaching happen after 2 p.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday. And then, of course, over the weekends like this, when I will be doing practice sessions as well. because I believe practice is more important in trading than anything else. It's kind of like, being an athlete and showing up, right? As a professional athlete, you don't just show up to the game. I mean, LeBron James, could you imagine if he just showed up to the stadium for the game? I mean, they all show up for practice every day, going to the gym, living their life in that context. And that's where I think trading really is. And I think we miss that sometimes. So yeah, that's kind of the concept of all of this. Now that should be picking up all the lines from that chart, but for whatever reason, they're not coming through onto this time frame, which I find interesting because we should have something printing here at 783 right down here, and we just don't. We should have an area up here. Let's see. Oh, thanks everybody for spamming in the chat and TikTok. Appreciate you. You guys are absolutely amazing and definitely helping society with your activities. So thank you for being here. All right, price action is coming off of the unfair highs, and I'm looking for a possible continuation play here to the downside. What do I see with NASDAQ? What do you mean, Austin? In terms of what? Longer term perspective? What are you referring to? It's kind of a loaded question. You're still working on learning market structure. Got you. Okay, beautiful. Let's go through the market structure a little bit. So in terms of market structure, I always start with, and this is, by the way, this is I'm working on June 16th right now on doing a back test, but doing it through dynamic and not static charts. And so let's see, can you see this chart? Yeah, you can see this chart pretty well. So what's happening here? These are all volume profiles on a daily chart. And these daily charts are dealing with the Asia, the London, and the US session. Okay. And since the beginning of June, like June 2nd, we've been in a rotational market condition. Okay. So the market has been moving in these areas, right? For a while. Aiden, hello, welcome. Good to see you. Thank you so much for the follow as well. Truly appreciate you. You guys are amazing. I appreciate all the support. I hope everybody is having a great day and having an amazing Sunday wherever they are in the world and just truly enjoying life. So price action has been ranged, right? We've been trading in value. So we're balanced market condition and we're coming up here into unfair highs. In the unfair highs, what does that mean? Price action has been rejecting from these areas ever since whenever we come up here, and it starts moving back down into lower areas of value. And that's kind of what I'm expecting here, right? Because price action isn't telling me anything different. We're still kind of range bound, doing the same thing over and over again. And we want to align our actions and our trades to the overall direction of the daily chart. And that's exactly what we're doing here. So in this particular day, we're looking for a potential short up here around the highs, right? So we bring that into the context of a daily chart, but only the US session. And so this line here is telling us this is where price is currently trading at. And what do? We opened up into the range of this previous bar, which we have a high volume node here and a higher volume node down here. Possible double distribution. What can that point to? Either trend continuation or possible reversal. So price action is telling us that, you know what, we could have a reversal day here and selling off. And so we want to put that into context, not as a bias, right? Because the market can do anything. What we want to do is build a plan around that idea, not bias, Okay. Bias is two different things. Bias is saying this is the direction the market's going to go in. Okay. And I really try to teach a non-bias approach. Why? Because the market doesn't care what you think it's going to do. The market just doesn't. You're a participant of the market only if you're in a cash account. If you're trading in a prop account, you're not even a participant unless you have a brokerage account, because everything is off of SIM. It's not even an active market or active order. Okay. So the market doesn't even care about you anyhow if you're not an actual true participant. Now, people care about you, not the market. So what does that mean if the market doesn't care about you? That means it doesn't care about your bias. It doesn't care about what you think. It only is a reflection of the participants that are currently in it. So what do we want to do? We want to read those participants. We don't want to read price and action. We want to read what the participants are doing. How do we do that? Well, the participants are telling us that every time we've come up here into this area, they've decided to sell off. Okay, beautiful. We can go in and say, okay, if they continue doing what it is that they're doing, right? Market participants are deciding that up this area that they're looking to sell off price, right? We can then turn around and say, okay, in this area here, what I want to do is I want to just create a range where I can see unfair highs and unfair lows in this time frame. That way I can depict these are the areas that I would love to see price action come back to and give me potential reasons to enter the market and the direction expected of market participants. Then we can look down at lower prices and we can say, okay, these are potential areas where we can look for potential buying to step into the market, because this is the buying that happened before. Now, if you're thinking about overall market condition short, and market starts to participate in that direction, you can see a pretty big expansion in price to the downside. But what happens if price action comes down and it gives you a long signal? You can take that long signal, just don't expect it to go as far, because the expectation just isn't there in the context of what the market is currently doing. So what do we have right now? We have price action on the 30-minute that has come up into unfair highs directly into the areas where participants have been selling, immediately sold it off into value area low, and we're currently trading back into value. And so what we would expect the market to do, possibly come up here into unfair highs, so we could draw a line, right? And we can say, okay, possibly coming into unfair highs, all right? And if it does, we could be looking for potential rejection in these areas and looking for short positions here and here. But now what happens if the market just goes up, right? Maybe breaks out of this range here, pulls back into that area, and then goes. Well, that could be a reason for us to go long, all right? So just because I'm seeing that the market participants have been selling off in this area doesn't mean that I'm just going to say, okay, I have a bias and I'm only going to go short for the day. No, these are the areas that I'm looking at really wanting to do business in the market for this particular day. And we're going to do the same thing on the lower side. So if price action were to come down, right, be looking for a potential long out of this area, because we've had rejection here before. Price action has been, participants have been willing to buy out of this area. But then we also have this area down here. And this is where we come in. And we say, okay, if price action comes down below these areas, right, this would be a reason to come into a short position. Now, I don't like to take the same area and turn it into a buy and a sell, right? Which is kind of what's happening right here. What I would prefer to do is come in and say, okay, I'd be willing to buy this area, but what happens if we come down and we come through these lows? We get a close below these lows, okay? We pull back up into the area, right? Now we have a reason to short. instead of waiting all the way down here. And this is how I create what I call my PMA, my pre-market analysis. I do this every day, every single morning. This is my PMA. This is how I build my plan throughout the day. I'm not looking for pullbacks. I'm not just reading price. I'm reading price and I'm reading volume. Why? Because the volume tells me the participants. Price is like telling me the direction, right? We're above the open, we're long. So it's telling me to go in the buy side of the path, right? And then the down price coming down through the open, that's telling me that the path is kind of going down, right? So it gives me the direction on which side of the path I want to walk on. Do I want to walk up to expect price action to continue going up? Or do I want to walk down the path and expect price action to come down? Okay. Then the participants, the volume inside the bar becomes the breadcrumbs. And it starts to paint a picture of not just the direction I want to go in, but painting the picture of now I want to participate because I can read within the breadcrumbs. I can see them. I'm saying, okay, they're going in this particular direction. The participants are. Now I can follow them. That's it. That's how I trade. So let's get into it. I am biased to the downside. Price action is trading into an area where I would be looking at possibly going short. Sensei, thank you so much for the follow. I truly appreciate you. And I went into that whole explanation because somebody asked me a question, and I want to make sure that Austin, did that help explain to you what I'm looking at in terms of structure and helping you learn how to read market structure? And thank you so much for the follow as well, Austin. I truly appreciate it. And if you guys have any questions, please definitely ask. You know, I don't have a course. I do have a Discord. You can do !Discord. I can get the link if anybody wants that in here, but I don't charge for anything. I have lesson videos and different things along those lines to be offered on the Discord, but I just create those videos as people have questions and just try to help. I took my first trade in 1998, and I've been around. And then let me put this in here for Discord. Sounds good, Sensei. And we have other people in there too, trading Bitcoin and different things as well. Some of them auction market theory like I do. Other people, different things, you know. We're all just kind of working together to get to where we want to be in life. Yes, the order flow absolutely works for NQ, and I will absolutely show you in the process of how I utilize it in the NASDAQ. Order flow works in every market, every single one, right? And most individuals in their methodologies, all they're doing is really studying price. Well, price is good. We need price. Price gives us an idea of direction, right? Playboy, I love it. Yes, sir. I'm here. Just made my coffee. Thank you so much. Appreciate you for being here. If you have any questions, let me know. But price doesn't tell you anything about the participants. So let me just share a little analogy with you real quick. It'll be short. Think about the market is nothing but an auction. That's all it is just an auction. What does an auction need? It needs participants. Because for if the market's perfect and perfectly, you know, working as a perfect function, right? Absolutely, Sensei. I just put it in the link. Let me put it into chat. Let me put it in there again so you can have it. So here's the Discord link here for everybody that wants it. And I'll get back into the analogy. So give me 1 second. I need OBS. So there's the link there for Discord. Just go ahead and copy and paste that into Discord and you will have it. So the markets, right? It needs participants. Every auction needs participants. If you don't have participants of an auction, well, you're not going to have an auction. And so if you think of a perfect auction, a most efficient auction, right? For every buyer, there's a seller. For every seller, there's a buyer, and it's never going to move. It's just going to stay in a straight line. Well, what happens when it stays in a straight line? It doesn't go anywhere. But what happens with participants are more aggressive on one side to comparatively to another? That's where we start getting moves in price. That's all that's happening. So if you're watching price, you're not seeing when the participants are coming into the market. You're missing that in price alone. And so does order flow work? Yeah. Is it the key? Is it the holy grail? No. But if you use it in conjunction with price, now you can see which direction price is going, and you can see where the participants are joining into the auction process and at what price. And based upon what price is telling you, you can turn around and use that information and say, okay, now I can expect price to move in this particular direction because the participants are here as well. You're no longer guessing on which direction price is going to go in or what's actually happening in the context of the market, because you're reading the auction. You're reading the auction, and the result of the auction is price. And if you're just watching price, all you're getting is the result of the auction, and you have no idea where the participants are. Think about that. Let's get into this. Let's watch the auction. What are we seeing? Buyers are getting aggressive down here at the low, okay? Towards the low of this bar, we have a lot of participants, right? Can you explain your last and right setup? So yeah, are you looking at like right now? Because that's exactly what I'm doing right now, is going to start talking about my actual setups and when I'm going to be entering the market, why I'm entering the market, and how I enter the market. Is that what you're looking for, Playboy? Because my PMA for the day is already done. I already have my plan, right? This is the areas where I'm looking at doing business. Shorts in here, possible long in here, shorts down in here. And then if the market breaks out to the upside, we can look for a long position. We have to realize that breakout, though, is a market shift. Just because it broke out doesn't mean a trend's going to continue. When a breakout, right, market can go up and continue like a breakout to the upside. It can continue the trend to the upside, right? It can go sideways, or it can return to value. All right. Market shifts are extremely important. Don't treat them as if it's a trend starting signal. You need time. You actually started right when I asked. Okay, beautiful. Yeah, you're good. I just wanted to make sure that I was on the same page with you. No sense in trying to explain something, that you're looking for different information. So I just wanted to check in. Thank you for the feedback. I appreciate it. Okay. So what's happening right now? We're at 9:40 in the morning. I like to take trades starting around about 9:45. I'll take trades as early as 9:36, 9:38. People say don't trade the open, right? It's just gambling. And sometimes, yeah, but sometimes right at the open, it just works. Prath, Tony printing money. Thanks, Prath. I appreciate you. You're amazing. Prath. I love it. All right. So let's get into the actual setups. What's happening in this current market? We have buyers. We have participants, not buyers. We have participants coming in around the highs in here. We have participants coming into the highs in here. Okay. We have higher participants coming into the highs up here on this bar when we came up here, and we can't even break the high. So if this is an up bar and you're looking for a continuation, you start seeing volume accumulating up there, but it doesn't break the high. Are you going to want to buy that? Maybe you have a signal, right, that you're expecting with this big of a move here. You're anticipating a continuation play to the upside. But if buyers are accumulating, or if volume is accumulating at the highs, and price action is unable to facilitate price above the previous high where there was less volume, are you anticipating that that volume is to the buy side or the sell side? That's the question you have to ask yourself. And this is why price alone doesn't give us a good enough guide. Now, granted, neither does order flow. But when you combine the two, it becomes pretty freaking amazing. All right. So look, you have the higher volume. Price action's unable to make a higher high, and it comes back below the open of the bar. After testing the highs, you can rest on this area of volume, anticipating it to fuel to the downside. What's happening here on this bar? Price action, you get some volume accumulating down at the low, can't even break the low, and then starts accumulating volume above the open. Who's accumulating that volume? We don't know, but price is going up. Volume is accumulating at higher prices, not at an actual high or a low. What is that telling you? Price action is probably going to move higher. That's what we're looking for. What platform am I using for my charts? Tyrone, thank you so much for the question. I really do appreciate you. And thank you for just coming in and asking. I'm using Deep Charts is what I'm using. And the reason why I use Deep Charts, it's a very simple platform to use. I took my first trade in 98, so I can't tell you how many platforms I've used. This is just a very simple platform to use. There's not a lot of bells and whistles to it. As you can see on my charts, they're pretty clean. I don't even have a moving average on my charts, okay? I don't need them. I don't use them. And so it's very stripped down, and it has a lot to do with volume. And that's what I need. I need to be able to see the volume. I don't trade off of dots. I don't trade off of any of that stuff. I do put the histograms on here because it's easier for me to see visually. The dots are there for me to see visually, but I still have to look in between the bid and the ask to see what's going on there. Because all this is telling me here is just high volume. Not that buyers or sellers are in control, just high volume. And what happens if you get high volume around a low? You should anticipate the low to be broken. But then at the low, as it breaks, you get lower volume. What is that telling you? You could possibly get a reversal in the market. You can't read that just in price on a candlestick and a wick, but you can when you get granular in what the participants are doing within the bars. I hope that helps. If you have any questions about that, Tyrone, let me know. If you have any questions about the platform I use, let me know that as well. Let's get into it. It's 9:40. Give me 1 second. I need to get something to drink real quick. This is not going to work for me if I try to do this and talk without having something to drink. So I'm going to be back in just like 30 seconds. Just give me 1 second. You would short the highest high of the break and play the manipulation move for the lows. You know what? That's absolutely a viable option, right? I want to see how volume distributes up there before I take any action. Why? Because we're currently trading in the context of value. If we're trading in value, what do I anticipate? Price to facilitate trade between the balanced area. So I'm still looking at price action to move higher here. I'm not looking at it to just come straight down. I'm looking at it to come back up and test these highs, test into this area, test into these low volume nodes. So I'm still looking for a rotation higher here. I'm not looking for price action to just reject off of these highs, nor would I be looking at that just off of initial balance anyhow. Initial balance is just a number that I put into the market. You're welcome, Tyrone, anytime. Thank you for the questions and the participation and just being here. Really, truly appreciate you. And so in this context of this current market condition, I'm still looking for rotation to the upside. And I can take a scalp to the upside if that were to happen as well. But as in terms of what I'm looking at for like a day trade, I need higher prices to really come in to be able to short those higher prices because I'm anticipating price to continue to move higher to facilitate the auction of the higher time frame. You'll let my man go get a drink. Thanks, Playboy. I appreciate you. I'll be right back. All right, back. So now we can get into this. It's gonna be a little loud. Sorry, I should probably mute the mic. All right. What's that, Prath? Oh, did you answer the question, Prath, for deep charts? Thank you. I appreciate you. All right. So let's start this and let's get this going. So we're already in unfair highs of a daily perspective. We're in value on the 30-minute chart. Who's a drink sponsor for the day? So we have a Waterloo seltzer water, right? And then a Tropical Vibes Celsius. So the sponsor of the day will probably have to be Celsius. I do not drink coffee. I'm un-American in that regard. I don't drink coffee. I don't drink tea, any of that stuff. But every once in a while, I'll have a Celsius just to kind of just get the blood flowing a little bit. So price action is still continuing higher. But look at this, though. See the high volume that came in here at the high, right? And we came off of that. So I'll be anticipating this bar here to at least come and test that price. If not break it, test it. So where's our high volume areas? Our high volume areas is here and here. I'm anticipating price action on this bar to rotate between these areas, and with the high being here, possibly come up and break that high. Now, is it going to hold? Don't know yet, but we have the higher volume starting to build already at the highs. Seeing a little bit of rejection up here, but not enough to be able to say, okay, if this was an area, that's enough rejection to be going short. I'm still anticipating this high to break because of the volume of support that we have coming into the market. Price action came in on the open of the bar, came right down and facilitated trade exactly where I was kind of anticipating it to go to, came up into the high of this high volume here, broke the high. Now we're trading back into a little bit of rotation, moving higher. Where I anticipate price action to go to, I would anticipate price action to continue going up into the 97 area. All right. 97 being up inside this area up in here. Why? That's where value area high is. Chart can go deep without putting oil on it. Deep chart. Yes. Thanks, Pratt. Appreciate you. All right. So what we're seeing now is a little bit of rejection to the upside. All right. Not in an area, though, where I'm still looking at going short at the moment. I want to wait. I want to be patient, and I want to wait, especially here at the open, right? We don't really have a nice directional market. We don't have a trend established. We're trading in value. We just want to be patient and give the market time. As Playboy said, right, we have price action coming in and breaking these highs here. You break the highs, you could be looking for a short position. 100%. Yes. On a nice little scalp position, looking down here into IVB, I completely agree with that move. Why? Because we came in here with a higher volume, rejected from this area. Price action came up here on very low volume comparatively, anticipate price action to come down and break lows. Not one of my trade setups, but if it's yours, beautiful. What's the blue dot, purple dot, yellow line? So the blue dots here, the cyan, the blue dots here are showing, it's an indicator. It's showing that more buyers are here than the sellers. And then, of course, the magenta dots, or the pink dots, right? More sellers are in here than the buyers, okay? And this is why I don't want to trade in this range. I'm anticipating rotational market, not directional. I don't necessarily want to be in here during the rotation. This is where you get stopped. You come in here, you try to go short down here in this area off the break, price action comes down a little bit, not enough to actually hit profit targets, comes back into the entry of your price. Do you move down to a break even? Do you hold your stop someplace up here? This price action rotation. I don't get into the rotation. I get into the edges of rotation. The yellow lines in the boxes, those are the VPOC in each one of these bars. So the highest volume traded in the bars themselves are here in those boxes. These yellow lines here, these yellow lines are based upon low volume in terms of the actual histograms. I don't use these yellow lines. They're just kind of there. So that's part of the indicator. I don't know how to turn them off. We'll just leave it at that. And then these lines here are my areas for my higher time frame of where I want to be into the market. And then what else can I tell you about the charts? The green line here is initial balance on the low. So initial balance low, initial balance high. And the yellow lines will just kind of pretend they're not there. I'm not quite sure, exactly the whole process behind them. I just know they're associated when you plot the histogram. And I like the histogram. It's easy to see. Higher volume at the high, right? Anticipate the highs to break. Should be anticipating the highs to break right now. Don't know where they're going, but anticipate it to break. Let's see what happens. A little rotational in here. Price action confirms, makes a higher high. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, no, Playboy, that's absolutely awesome. And trade 50,000 Apex ATM on auction market, ATM on Trade-of-8. Absolutely. The only reason why I don't use Trade-of-8 is they just don't have a lot of the volume tools that something like Deep Charts will have, Atos will have, Bookmaps will have, any of those other platforms. That's the only reason why I don't use Trade-of-8. I'm looking at doing a, what is it? I already got it. Because the plan was to trade cash, but I don't think that's going to help people. So I'm going into a Tradeify. Is it 150,000? Might be a 200,000 select account with the max trailing intraday drawdown at 4,500. What I want to do is open this up to Blue Sky at some point in time and go into Blue Sky and utilize their 300,000. I don't know what it's called, but the Propel. The 300,000 Propel. And then you have just a strict $5,000 static stop. There's no watermark drawdowns or anything else along those lines. It's just static. What's happened here at the lows, right? You have the high volume at the lows. We can't even break through this area at all. Price action is coming back up again. This would be the pullback you'll be expecting for this nice up bar for us to be testing the high of this bar. You opened, closed almost at the high, right? Not a lot of volume at the high, more volume down in this area, but you're accumulating now volume around the high of this current bar. Anticipate the highs to break again. Yeah, I like Trading View. I just use Trade-of-8 for emergency, and yeah, that sounds like a good plan. Absolutely. I agree with you completely, Playboy. Thank you so much for your for just your communication. I really, really appreciate that. So price action really hasn't come up into the areas yet. Still anticipating a rotation to the upside. I can take scalp trades to the upside right now because I am anticipating price action to facilitate higher. The reason why I'm not is because that daily chart, we're already in the area where participants like to get strong to the downside. So I don't really necessarily want to fade the direction of the daily perspective right now. But I still am anticipating the 30-minute to come up a little bit more. And what are we seeing now? Possible rejection to the upside, but the high volume, anticipating it to be tested on this bar or the next subsequent few bars. Why? We have the high volume up here. We're going to test that. We're going to see if it's buyers or it's going to be or buyers or sellers. And price is going to come back and test this area to see. Already we're seeing a possibility to the downside move. Why? We created the volume up here and we came back down and we tested the low of this bar. Immediately rejected that low. Okay. Had we come down here and facilitated trade a little bit and built some volume, we'd be anticipating this to possibly come down. And what's Delta telling us? Delta's telling us that we have buyers in this market, even though we're coming into the lows. That's telling us that as we're coming down, prices coming down, it's not coming down on strong sell volume. It's actually coming down on buy volume. What would you anticipate to have happen at these lows? Price action to continue up. That's how we wrap Delta into this whole thing. And what's happening on the 30-minute Delta right now? 30-minute Delta is pretty low comparatively to where price is right now. It wouldn't take much sell pressure to reverse this market pretty quickly. Again, very little move in Delta, right? And we came in and tested basically the 50% range of this bar, okay? Not a lot of sell pressure coming in. And before we even turn around and take out the high, that whole movement there brought Delta even higher than it was previously. Again, anticipate the high to break. Any questions on that concept? Now the high didn't break. What does that mean? That means that the vast majority of these orders in here aren't strong buy orders, is all that's telling us. It's not telling us that we have rejection up here. It's not telling us that the market can't go higher. It's telling us we have a high volume area that we're anticipating to test. We tested the high volume here, we tested a high volume here, and price action is not wanting to go higher. We don't have any indication yet that it actually wants to go lower, but I am going to go ahead and facilitate a trade here to the downside to see what happens. We're already getting a little bit of a higher volume coming in, and it's already pushing us now down into lower lows. Where would I anticipate price action to go to? Test here, and in lower areas, test into this area, test into this area. And so now we have $300 in revenue, right? Still early in the position. I'm still looking at it being able to go a little bit higher. I'm going to go ahead and watch what happens here in this area. Because I want to trail my stop. But I'm expecting a pullback here that's just being a pullback and retesting the lows. So now I'm going to put my stop in. And now on my stop, I'm just going to go ahead and hang out in this position. Up 185, right? At that time, I was up about 300, locked in about 185, locked in a total of 130 on just a scalp to the downside. Why was that just a scalp? Because I'm still looking at price action moving a little bit higher. We're currently trading around VPOC on the 30-minute chart, which is currently at 69, okay? So we have a very high volume area here. What are we anticipating that high volume to do? Price action to rotate around the area. And so as long as price action's holding this as resistance, I'm going to be looking for short positions to come down and test back into the lower ranges of today's overall range. Price action is coming back up again, testing here in the high volume, testing back up here into the high volume, right? Rotational. Gotham, hey, how's it going? It's good to see you. Thanks for joining. Appreciate you. Thanks for saying hi. Price action came right back up, right? Rotated again. I should be in up here on the short as we're coming down. Why? Price action came in to this area, a little bit higher volume, can't break above it, and started trading back down. I should have been short in here, but I was reading chat. This is why I'm still on sim. This is why I'm trying to practice. I'm still missing some of the positions and some of the moves because I'm still trying to figure out how to put all this together. This is my third week of streaming, and I'm still trying to figure out how to put all this together to be a part of the community, but not be a part, or still be a part of the community, but still be able to take all my trades the way I want to be able to take them. We're breaking the highs here. I want to see what happens around these highs. We had the high volume, right? This could just be a test of rejection. It could be a test of the value area high, bringing us back up into 895. So I'm watching this rotation. Oh, you previously asked for the Discord link. I apologize. I put it into TikTok. I didn't see it over here. No, you're fine. Don't apologize. Type in !Discord. I would do it for you, but I can't do my own commands on this side and YouTube. So just type in !Discord and that link will come up. And so we have the higher volume in here, right? We have 245 buyers, 127 buyers comparatively to, what is that, about 100 and it looks like 162 or so, right? We're still holding the highs here. Even though we broke the high, we're still holding the highs as resistance. So I'm still looking for a possible continuation to the downside. Where am I looking for rotation? Between here and here, right? And in that, price action is now moving below, getting a little bit more aggressive on the downside. There you go, Gotham. There you go. Thank you. Appreciate you. Sorry I couldn't do that for you, but yeah, there it is. And now price action is coming down, testing these lows here on higher volume and showing rejection. But we're rejecting into the high volume, still looking for a rotation to come down and break through these lows. Welcome, Gotham, to the server. Appreciate you. To the community is what I was trying to say. If I can speak, that'd be helpful. English is my second language. Can I go with that? Probably not. That's definitely not true, but kind of funny. All right, so we're up 200. I'm going to go ahead and make a break-even trade here on this position. Price action is now starting to break the lows. We're up 300. I'm going to lock in a little bit more, about 110. Putting my position here, my stop right below where the high volume is starting to come into this area, anticipating it to come into that area, reject, and continue to move lower. Price action is moving, rotating a little bit more. Waiting, see if we get a little bit more movement to the downside. If so, I'll be moving my stop a little bit more. Looking for momentum to come into this market right now. So I want to trail my stop with the momentum rather than taking a target, looking for a 2-to-1, 1-to-1 risk reward ratio, whatever it might be, right? I want to grab what the market's willing to give me. I'm not sitting here with a profit target saying, oh, wow, if you come down here, this is great. This is enough money for me. No, if you're going to move $3,000 in one position, right? I want to try to grab $2,800 of that. That's why I use trailing stops in these positions. So what happened? Price action came down, right? We came into this higher volume area over here, rejected, okay? Now we're going to come back up and we're going to test the higher volumes to the upper side, and we're going to be looking for a possible pullback again for a move to the downside. Still have doubts plotting a volume. What do you mean, Gotham, that you're having doubts plotting a volume? What does that mean? So here's the pullback, the higher volume around the highs. Can't even make the higher highs coming into the higher ranges, right? Still have a buy delta coming in, which is fine. If we break through this low, or break through the open, right? Delta should shift. And if we see a continuation of delta to the downside, what does that mean? Sellers are now stepping in aggressively into the lows. We don't see that yet. This could be a potential test into the lows and reversal by buyers. So we want to be very careful on this position. Locking in a little bit of $60, we're about 300. Locking in 60. Looking for momentum to the downside. Up 310 right now. Let's go ahead and lock in about 100. Up 400. 430. Getting the higher volume in here. This is looking good. I'm going to go ahead and bring it into a 155 in case we do get a snapback in price. Price action is moving back down again. Now we're going to go ahead and start getting a little bit more aggressive on this. We're up 700. We're locking in 340 and stopped out. Again, why am I scalping and not looking for longer down moves right now? because, oh, well, I don't have a good answer for you. We moved into value area high, and I didn't realize that we were in a value area high. Let me get back into a short here. I didn't see that we moved into value area high on the 30-minute chart. I might need to add another position here to get myself into a better position if we come into the higher areas of volume. But that's just position sizing and inventory. We'll work on that as we get through more trades. You like it that slick smooth? Yeah. I mean, we're just taking some bites out of the market, right? All I'm trying to do right now is get a little bit of bankroll this morning that's mine, that now I can use as risk for the market, right? So now I have $700 in revenue, right? So I can use that $700 in revenue now for inventory. So if price action moves back up here, and I'm still looking for a continuation move to the downside because we came up into the value area high, I just didn't realize it, right? But we did. So now we have a good sign of shorts coming down and coming into the IVB. So now I have revenue. Price action comes into these higher areas of volume. Instead of going ahead and putting my stop up there, I'm going to do is add more positions as we start coming back down, getting a better position here than moving one of my profit targets down here into the high volume. Because if it comes up here and I get in around here, my entry is going to move about here. It's going to give me about $200 in revenue coming into the high volume beneath us. Now I have a free trade. It's using inventory, right? Let's not use inventory for all of our entries just to get into the market. Let's use it to manage risk as well. How to plot fixed volume profile. Oh, got you. Now, are you talking about fixed volume, or are you talking about like the custom, like if you're drawing your own profiles, kind of like I did on the 30-minute? You talk about this one right here? Like where I drew this one? Or are you talking about the fixed like this? This to me is fixed. So it wants to go to volume and leave it. What it wants to do, so the auction is constantly looking for participants. And if participants aren't necessarily playing here, it wants to go to other areas where they played before, where they had conversations, where they participated. Well, where has price action participated recently? And in meaningful ways. Here, and up here. So if price action can't facilitate trade lower, it's probably going to move up and rotate into those areas to see if anybody wants to participate in those areas. And then it's going to be rotational until one party decides that they want to get aggressive. And that's what creates the directional moves. The custom one. Okay, beautiful. Let me get out of this trade here, and I'll hit pause, and I'll show you how to go in and draw your custom profiles and exactly where to draw them, okay? Most people teach you off of swing highs, swing lows. No, I don't do that. I'll show you exactly where I draw them. And once you see it, you'll be able to recognize it moving forward. I didn't see what we were up there. I should have probably moved my stop to a break even. I don't like testing these higher ranges right now, creating this lower channel here, this break of this low on this high volume. I don't like the pullback happening here. Buyers are getting more aggressive in the market right now. How rude. See, they're not supposed to be doing that. Could somebody call, Trump or whatever and have him talk to somebody, get them to bring price back down for me, please? It's ridiculous. Shows us multiple examples. Yeah, I'll show you multiple examples of how to draw them, but you only need a couple, because once you see it, you won't miss it moving forward. And I'll also explain why I draw my profiles in those areas. I'm just a nice guy. And so price action doesn't want to leave high volume areas. It wants to rotate around high volume areas. That's what the auction wants to do, right? As you get out into unfair highs, unfair lows, there's not a lot of participants in those areas. It wants to stay around where the participation is high. So once participation starts to become lackluster, right, it's going to move back into the higher participation areas seeking participants. The market's constantly seeking participants. That's all price is doing, is seeking participants. One of the reasons why stop runs are done, right? If you think about it, right? You have a lot of resting orders in one particular area. Well, price action is going to come back and test those areas, not because stop runs are necessarily being run by, manipulation. It's a structure within the market. And if you notice, I'm not plotting delta here or anything else. I'm plotting total volume. And I really want to be in with another one down here, but I'm trading the minis and not the micros right now. If I was trading the micros, I'd be in 6-8 micros right now, just getting into these areas because it would give me plenty of room for inventory in case price breaks higher. I'm waiting to get into the market with more size only if price starts to move heavily against me. Why? Because we're sitting on this edge up here. This is very, very good rejection. If price action comes into this area, I'm anticipating it to continue to move lower and to come back and test the lows. That's where I can add 1 or 2 contracts up here, bring my price up, move my first target down into this area, and still be able to make $200-300 on that first move, limiting my overall risk because now I'm limiting the amount of inventory I'm holding. Yeah, absolutely, Playboy, definitely. Give me your link for your Discord. Absolutely, I'd love to check it out. So price action came up here, right? Kind of broke the highs in here, kind of came into this little high volume up here. I'm still looking at this structure, possibly holding. We have the higher volume up here, right? So this could be rejection, but I'm anticipating price to come back up, test this area, and break this high. Like clockwork, right? There, I'm in. I'll check it out after I get done with my recording today. How does that sound? So price action came up into the area. This is where I would like to be adding into the position. And I distracted myself. And don't get me wrong, right? I'm talking about the distraction, right? But you guys aren't distracting me. You guys aren't the issue. It's my ability to stay focused in the charts, knowing when I can do stuff like I just did of getting a link and getting onto a server in times where I'm not involved in actually entering the markets around areas where I will be entering markets. This is not a chat issue. This is not a community issue. This is a Tony issue that Tony needs to figure out and get past himself. So I don't want you guys to feel like, you're distracting me or doing anything along those lines. No. You guys don't have that type of authority over me as an autonomous individual. Okay. And if I'm getting distracted by that, that means that I need to build new habits, new strategies around this process. So I just want to make that clear. I don't want anybody to ever feel like, I'm putting them on the spot, or, make them feel bad because I say something like, I was distracted and like, oh, I'm so sorry that, I've had people do that before. And no, I don't want anybody to feel that way. Trading is a very, very individualized sport. It's like, it's what's his name? Oh goodness, I have to look up his name because I can't think of it right now, and names are eluding me. The older I get, the more difficult it is for me to remember names. It comes with the gray hair, I think. I don't know, not sure, but we're gonna blame it on that. How does that sound? Michael Phelps. Didn't even have to look. Michael Phelps, right? One of the best swimmers in the world. Other than being on the relay team, it's a very individualized sport. And if we want to get really good at a sport that's individualized, we have to treat it as something like swimming, because it's just us, right? We determine our own performance. About the same amount of volume down here, didn't break the lows. I'm now anticipating price action to continue to move higher here and test higher areas of volume, because we're not making any form of significant lower lows here. Just trading in this little range. And where are we trading at right now in the context of the 30-minute? VPOC. And Gotham, if you have to go, let me know. Like maybe 5-10 minutes before you do have to go, right? I'll go ahead and pause this and then go in and do that instruction. But if you have a few minutes, hopefully I'm out of this position here in just a few minutes. I can get into your question on where to draw those custom profiles. And I also don't like either, hanging out around this mid-range of initial balance. It's not, doesn't give you, those warm, fuzzy feelings of, wow, everything is great, right? It just doesn't. No, the whole Lego song, everything is awesome, is not playing in my head right now. Sounds good. Thanks, Gautam. I appreciate it. I much prefer to just trade through an area than pause it. That's why I'm still on here. But like I said, if it takes much longer, we'll just figure something else out. Barely broke the lows here. Very low volume in here as well. See, we can already tell, right? Market participants are not high right now. Look at the volume in this area on this bar comparatively to this bar, comparatively to this bar, right? We have lower volume here. We don't have as many participants coming into the market. So what are we probably going to do? Extend the range to the downside to see if there's more participants coming in, or extend it to the upside, or both. Both is always a possibility as well. So what are we looking at doing? Testing here into the higher volume, down here at the lows. And we're already just one ticked my entry. We do have some sellers down here. Test the buyers. We have a nice delta on this bar so far. See what happens if we get above the open. There we're above the open. Pull back into this area. We didn't go green on delta, so we still have sellers entering this bar, nice sellers entering the bar as price action came down. The reason why I'm doing this type of analysis right now, I'm looking at Delta a little bit more than I do on other bars, is because of the way that we just broke this, my little entry area. The fact that we have this ledge of volume here, possible rejection here. I'm questioning, do I need to get aggressive on my stop right now or give this a little bit of room and see if we can't break into lower lows, test into this area, give me a chance to actually move into a break-even trade instead of taking an expense. It's not that I don't mind taking expenses. It's why take an expense when the market hasn't told you yet that you probably should? Expenses is a part of the game. This is a business, right? You have business, you have revenue, you have expenses. Every business has expenses. It's part of it. You can't control it. There we go. Now we're going to lock in the break even. That's what I was looking for. See what patience can pay off sometimes. Patience can also be an issue, right? To the other side. But we have way too much resistance above us in order for me to be too worried and concerned about the position. But we were starting to create a ledge there at the mid-range and not moving into the lows of initial balance. And that could have reversed price to come back up and test those highs again. I would much prefer to be out of the market so when it comes back and tests those highs, I can get in at better prices instead of trying to come in with higher inventory and moving price back or moving my entry and sorry, I'm looking at something. Not moving my entry, right? And keeping it there. So, sorry. Wasn't losing my train of thought, believe it or not. I'm in this area right here that I'm looking at for potential buy area. And so I was watching the 30-minute to see kind of what it was doing. And so I'm not so completely focused on the short-term charts. I'm also watching what's happening on the 30-minute, looking for potential rejection popping into the market from that perspective, because we are in an area here where I'd be anticipating buyers to possibly step in. What happened at the low here? So we have very low volume down in here, right? Now price action's moving higher. If I saw the rejection on the 30-minute and I liked the rejection on the 30-minute, I would have gotten out of the short a little bit sooner and already been long. But I don't like what I'm seeing here on the 30-minute chart with all of our wicks above us. These wicks right here, yeah, we have this wick down here. Okay, that's fine. Whatever. I'm looking for a continuation play to the downside. But I don't want to sell this area right now because I'm anticipating some possible buying to come in, but I'm also not expecting price to spend a lot of time here. I'm expecting it to come down and then possibly come back up and test into the area. That would be a good reason to go short if we had to close below initial balance and looking for a continuation play to the downside. All right, let me pause this real quick and get this question answered. I have waited long enough to answer this question. Okay, so the question is, where do I draw lines or draw these custom profiles on the 30-minute chart? Okay, now, everybody, want you to listen up and pay attention. I'm about ready to teach you something that I don't know of a lot of people actually teaching this, all right? And it's not because it's special, it's not the Holy Grail, it's not anything along those lines, but it might help you along your path if auction market theory is something that you want to do. Okay. Here we go. All I do with these custom profiles, I'm looking for market breakouts. Why? Market breakouts create a market shift. A lot of people say, oh, well, the market broke out, right? I want to be long because we could be looking for a trend continuation. No. Market breakout can do one of three things. It can create a trending market condition, okay? But it can also just consolidate in a very narrow range. Look at this breakout here from this little range right here. This little breakout created what? Consolidation phase, which moved right back into value. Didn't create an up move, an uptrend. It created consolidation and moved back into value. I use these bars as my key bar to build all my profiles. So my profile doesn't start at the swing low or the swing high. It starts at the bar that closes above or below my current range. Closes, not a wick, close. This bar here, this range, closed above. That's where I draw my profile from. And I'm going to continue and keep it there until we get a close above. This, it's pretty much a close at from these highs here. So I'm not interested in that. I'm looking for a definitive close. And price action is continuing to move up here, and we're making higher highs and higher lows in this area of value. Okay? We are not in a balanced market condition here. We're in an imbalanced market condition higher, which tells me what? When this happens and we don't move back into value and we start to make higher highs from this place, this becomes my place to draw my next profile. And I'm waiting for it to go from value area high to value area low, because now I'm in a balanced market condition. And now I can trade this area of balance as long as it's balanced. Go long down here, short up here. It gives me my range, and I can trade around the range. And what happens? Price action moves back above the range, right back into value. Until what? We start to trend higher and we close above. This bar did not close above. This bar did. Again, this bar did not close above my range. This bar did. The bar that closes above my range is the one that becomes the index to the next area of value. And now we're back in value again. So we're trending higher, right? We're in an imbalanced market condition higher. We're trending higher, okay? But guess what? We're in balance at the same time. So how do we trade it? Go long off of your unfair lows and look for a move back up into balance. And if you trade more than one lot, hold some in case it starts to trend and break out. And then what happens here? We get a close below this range, but where's our low? All the way over here. We don't even get a close below at all. So we're not shifting our view from balance to down. We're still in balance. And now we're just looking for lower ranges or lower areas to go long from. Until what? We close back above our range right here. That bar becomes the next area of value. Gotham, questions on that? You could put one here. I wouldn't argue with that by any stretch of the imagination, especially because this doesn't come back, right? But the range is so tight that it's not even really worth trying to trade right now. And then what happens here? Get a close back out of that range again. It's clear now? Beautiful. And so what's happening is you're indexing the market shift. The market shift is telling you that the market did something a bit more significant than it has in any of the other previous bars. And now you're indexing that bar, and you're really watching price and what it does after that bar, because that bar can create an imbalanced market condition, but it can also turn around and create a tight range. It can also move price back down into prior value. And when price action moves up like this, creates that range and a false breakout, you start getting down bars, delete any profiles you have in here, continue moving your profile over until it moves back into value area low. Because once it moves back into value area low, this becomes your new developing value area. It's an old value area, but we just came back to it in an imbalanced market condition higher. What do you want to do in unfair lows? You want to be a buyer. Buyer, 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 buyer. What does price action do? Moves back up to value area high. Questions, comments, concerns? Does this help anybody? Does anybody see the value in what I just taught there? Is anybody still with me? Price action is moving back through this area. Possible support coming into the market here from initial balance. Initial balance, we're still in a balanced market condition. We close below this area. What do we create? A range extension to the downside. What could that be? It could be a possible trend to the downside, consolidation, or reversal back into value. And what happens if we revert back into value? We can turn around and revert back into the direction of the breakout as well. All right. So all of that stuff there is so important to understand on this bar, because it's a key market shift bar. And the first thing that you should notice when you see it is to pause, to wait, because we need more information. Oh, you guys are amazing. Love you guys. Seriously, you guys are absolutely amazing. You're picking up what I'm putting down. You know, I must be doing an okay job at teaching, because you're not asking further questions in the context of whatever it was we're working on. Keep it simple. You get it. Beautiful. Thank you for being here. Thank you for responding. Using a toss, how we can plot the IVB. I'm not sure how you plot IVB on toss initial balance indicator. So it has an initial balance indicator. The IB indicator helps traders to locate potential intraday levels of resistance and support. So you should be able to go into your indicators, and it should just be IB or initial balance. So it should say initial balance and then possibly in parentheses IB. On a toss advanced time and sales platform, maps out the high and low prices of the first hour of a trading session. So it's going to be plotted on for the first hour. I do mine. I think mine's set right now for the first 15 minutes. I can set mine. That's one of the reasons why I really like Deep Charts. They do a really good job. Yeah, mine's set for the first 30 minutes right now. So from 9:30 to 10. And then it's also the case for every single market session. Because it resets itself for the beginning of at the Asian Open and the London Open. I can speak. Looking for a bit more of a pullback here, because we do have the close, right? I'm looking for a possible continuation play to the downside. but I am anticipating a pullback. I would like to see a bit of a deeper pullback before we start to actually break down lower. We may not get that, and we're not. I'm in a little bit late. I am going to put a stop into this. I normally don't, but I'm going to for protecting stop just in case price action breaks back up again, because I am anticipating a bit of a deeper pullback, but price action is starting to go, so I want to put something on. I have $900 in revenue. I really don't want to take a $700, only have $200 in revenue when I can use that for inventory. So let me wait. The only issue with this is getting in at a low like this, especially below initial balance, we could get a reversal that pushes us back up into more highs. Into higher highs. More highs, higher highs. Jeez, I'm having issues. So I want to be out with this pretty quickly if it comes back down again. There we go. Beautiful. So I'm only with a 1, right? I've locked in an extra $250 in revenue there. Okay. Now I could move my stop to a break even. So if it snaps back up against me, and I can get back in at a better price than before. So what I did there was I wanted to be in up here. I got in down here in case it just went. It didn't go. It came back up here. I got back in, gave me a better price, and I was able to get out with 1 right down here before it snapped back up again. Now, can it just go? 100%. And if it does right now, it's going without me. Why? Because we just broke out of initial balance, and I don't know if we're in a downtrend yet. I'm still looking at the continuation play, but I would much prefer to have a bar that closes around its low, wait for a pullback, and then a movement to the upside. Now, as I said that with the high volume coming in here right before we broke the low, I should have been short in here. To look for a continuation play of momentum, because of the high volume in here before the low broke. So I should have been in here and already out with a break-even trade as we came into the lows. And I got in again in case we got another rotation. And I'm trying to trade in the direction of the daily chart right now. And the daily chart, where would I expect it to go? Down to 586, 554. A couple hundred points below where we are right now. So I'm going to try to hold this position the best I possibly can, because I'm looking for a continuation now to the downside. I don't have to worry about scalping anymore. I only have one area of support, which is right here. I'm anticipating getting through it pretty quickly. Well, get through it without rejection, please. That would be really nice. There we go. Well, a tick. Great. Thanks for playing. Thanks for participating with me today, NASDAQ. I really appreciate you. You're so helpful. There we go. That's what I was looking for. That little pullback, right? Now we get the pullback in there. Now we expect sellers to get back involved again. They did not. Okay. We start getting buyers aggressive into here. We can definitely see that this position could possibly stop us out. So what do I want to do? Lock in as much profit in this position as I possibly can. And if it rotates higher, that's fine. I can get in at the higher prices, a better price, and then look for the continuation to the downside back into the 500s. Is where I expect price to go into today. So now I'm looking for another short entry into this market, one that I can actually hold on to for a little bit. A lot of volume here at the highs. I'm expecting that to be broken. So I'm expecting price to come back into this area. Very low volume. Very low volume. How much time do I have left on this bar? 54 seconds. I want to give us a little bit of time. Because we're finding the support here off of my lower area. off of unfair highs. Excuse me, low volume node off of unfair lows. Did you find that indicator, Gotham, that I was talking about? And then why am I not long here off of this area? Because we're still trading in the context of the daily chart, and we're already up here in this area above or below value area high. I'm not anticipating much of a movement on this. I'm looking for a continuation play to the downside. And so instead of being long in here and trying to mess with the long, I'm waiting for a re-entry for a short. And this is starting to set up to be a pretty good area for a short. Not saying that I want to be short right now. It's setting up to be a pretty decent area if this area holds. Now, if we break it, well, all bets are off, right? But if we turn around and hold this area, this is not a bad area to get into a short, to look for a continuation play to the downside. Now, it might have just bitten off a little more than I want to chew right now, getting in here. Okay, it's holding. Good. All right. I like it. So what? We've been trading, I don't know. What time did I start and take my first trade? Like 9:45 maybe? We've been trading for about 45 minutes. Actively trading for 45 minutes, right? Up 14.55 right now. This position's looking pretty good. Be better if we could break through these lows right now. I would like it better. I have to lock in a little bit of profit right now. This can absolutely snap back up from this area. I don't like the resistance from down here. We're up about 1,000. I'd like to go ahead and lock in more. Especially seeing this now, I would really like to lock in more, right? Sellers are protecting that area, right? Buyers are protecting the area. Sellers are protecting areas above us. Buyers are definitely 100% protecting this area right down here right now. To much of my chagrin, right? I'd like to have locked in a little bit more there, been up my $2,000 on a day, which is my intention, my expectation for my own trading. Now it looks like I'm going to have to get into another position looking for that additional $300 so I can hit my daily intention. Is what it looks like it's going to have happen because I didn't get out with $1,000 in revenue down here. Rookie mistake. Good short, Tony. Good short. Thanks, Playboy. Appreciate it. Thanks. Yeah, no, I mean, just hunting away, right? Has so much resistance above us, you know. I did wait for this to turn into a down bar before my entry. I could have gotten in up here in this area, but we still have room for the upside. So I want to get a little bit more confirmation. And of course, what happens when we wait for confirmation, guys? What we're doing is we're waiting for time. Time. Every single indicator that's out there that's time-based is all lagging because the moment you add time into the equation, right, you lag. I could have been entered up here. I waited for time. I got a lagging entry. Okay. The only two things out there that aren't time-based, they're plotted off of time. I'm waiting for a pullback. I think this is going to go. I want another $300 today. I'm waiting for that pullback and it's going to go. And there's going to be momentum in this. And this is going to move and it's going to move without me. This sucks. This sucks. This sucks. But damn it, it's a good problem to have. Sorry. I hope I didn't laugh too loud and break everybody's eardrums there. Oh, God. So funny, right? You see it. You just see it sometimes. And you just know. And yet you have to wait because it's not quite there of where your edge is for an entry. Because if I would have taken an entry in here, I've been entered down in here because of the slippage of entering off the market order, right? So I was disciplined. I didn't. I waited. Whatever. So I would say buyers are protecting here. Aspect, I am doing great. Thank you for being here again. Appreciate you. How are you doing today? You good? Life good? And see, now we're getting the momentum to the downside. All right. Well, I'm only going to be up $1,700 on this day. Didn't get my 2,000. Sorry, guys. I wasn't that good. Can we discuss the doubts in Discord? What doubts? What doubts are we discussing? Did I miss something? Where are the doubts? I don't even see anything in Discord right now. Do you have doubts? You want to discuss your doubts now? And we're just going to continue down in the momentum. I mean, if you're actually in this position right now, you know what you want to do is just keep scaling your stop at the moment. So with this down here, you can protect it like kind of into this area. Once you break down and break this low and create a lower low, I would move my stop right down here into this area because we've already tested it. I anticipate it to move away. So wherever you were entered at, I'd be looking at this right here to be the stop. It hasn't been touched yet. Like 1 or 2 ticks away. Coming back down again. Rotates higher. It could take you out. So I would be moving it down a bit more now. There we go. Finally got it. About here below the buyers, not a lot more, but a little bit more. I mean, maybe $100, and then there's the stop. So if you're in around here, that's where I would be stopped out on the position itself. Now, knowing that it's a trend, right? You want to give it more room, put your stop up here. If you're entered up in here, put your stop here. You're only going to lock in a couple $100 or so, not that much, right? I mean, from 60 down to, I mean, that's 60 points from the low. It's $1,200, right? You're only locking in a couple hundred, okay? But now that it broke that low, if you're up here, I would at least drop it down to here. At least. Because we've already tested the highs. You could even drop it down to the close if you wanted to, just to give it a little bit more room. And there's your stop. And that would be it. Right? And now at that point in time, you're up another 6,800. You're up 23 to 2,500 on the day. There you go. Sounds good, Gotham. Can we discuss the doubts in Discord? Yeah, absolutely, Gotham. If you have doubts and those type of things, run things through Discord. It gives me a chance to talk over there too. Help you out in whatever it is that you need. I hope you have an amazing day, and we will definitely see you tomorrow. Any other questions out there? Comments, concerns? If not, I'm going to go ahead and reset this and start another day. No, sir. Good day. Yeah, it was a good day. There was a bit more profit out there that I could have grabbed that I didn't. But all in all, I don't rate myself as a trader by how much money I left on the table. I rate myself as a trader as my efficiency. And that day, I feel like I did pretty damn good trading that day. Do I have a Discord? Yeah, I sure do. Aspect, absolutely. Type in !Discord into chat, and I'll give you the command for it. The link will pop up. And so I rate myself as a trader as in my efficiency of my trades. You know, how well am I reading participants? How much heat do I take on my positions, right? And then the profits, honestly, they're going to be there. The profits are a reflection of the result, just like price. Price is going to be there, right? It's the same thing. I can't control where price goes. I can't control the result. What I can control are the areas of my entries. Do they make sense? Do they make sense based upon what the market was telling me? Was I in revenue? Did I just have expenses? Do I need to adjust my theory or my methodology based upon new information? And based upon that day, I don't really have anything that I can critique and say I could have done better. I could have entered that one position on that short where I didn't, but even at that, in that area that I was in, price action could have easily broken back up as well. Although we had tested it multiple times, and by that point you're breaking that low, you know, you can make a case that an entry could have been there, but you can make a case where the entry wasn't there either, and I'm not too concerned about that. Exclamation mark here. Let me, playbook. I need to give that to you. I don't know. Let's look. Does it work on here? I don't think it works in here, so I need to get you the link. And here's the link. There you go. That's the Discord link right there. Just go ahead and copy that, put that into a new server, into Discord, and you should be good to go. So this is June 17th. Let's start with the PMA. So this is just the next day, right? So what happened to price? Well, first of all, let's just go ahead and get an idea of what happened the previous day with price, right? We actually got down here in price at 293. So the 500s definitely hit, right? So yeah, my analysis there on the downside potential, 100% there. What does that mean? That if you took scalp positions like I did and you held them, you can hold them through a day trade in a swing type of position, right? The question is how do you enter the market? Okay. And that question is something that needs to be answered depending on if you're a scalper, day trader, swing trader, or position trader. It's the same for each one. Well, if you can learn to enter the markets around a scalp, you can use that same technique to enter around any time frame. And you can turn a scalp into any type of trade you want to, depending on the time frame that you're trading from. And what is a time frame? Think of it as a lens on a camera. It's just the focus. Whatever you need and whatever time frame works in the context of the focus of what you of the data you want to look at. Here's an example. Okay, take this chart here. This is a 30-minute. All right, I'm going to try to make this so it's as easy to see on TikTok as well, which is not going to be easy to do. But see, we can only look at this type of information right here. That's it, right? So we can come back like this and get more information. But if all we have is like what's on TikTok, right? We turn around and we add a time frame. And now we put an hour in. What does that do? And this one chart, it gives us more time to look at. That's all it's doing. And if you look at time frames under that same category, now your time frame that you're trading from, or the time frame that you're doing this or you're doing that within, it's no longer about the time frame. It's about the information you need on your charts that you need to see for you to be comfortable in making decisions in the current market condition. So we get periods of time where we can be in the same trading range, the same area of balance for a year, Well, you probably want to go on to a different time frame than 30-minute, because you're going to need to put more data onto your chart. That's all time frames are designed for. Okay. Now, what did price action do yesterday? Came right down, right into this area down in here, right? We closed below our little area of value. But what did we do? Created overall structure value. We're not trending lower. We're in value. So what are we looking for? Notice I'm not drawing my lines here to match lows or highs. I'm drawing it to match the low volume node, which just so happens to pick up the key highs and key lows in the area. Watch this. I'm going to do it again. But this time, I'm not even going to see where any of those bars are over there. And I'm going to bring this over to TikTok so you guys can see it just fine. Now, what am I going to do? I'm going to draw this little shelf right down here. Right about there. And I'm going to extend it over to the right. I'm going to extend this one to the right too. And now, what am I expecting? I'm expecting price I'm expecting these areas now to pick up future price. See what happens. Wow. There was a wick in my little area here. So surprising and shocking. I can't believe that just happened. Like, I don't understand. Why did it reject from there? Oh my goodness, it did it again. Wow, it did it again. It traded through, it came back and tested and came down. What? The power of auction market theory. What's happening down here? What's causing this? What's actually happening? Well, price action came off of unfair highs to the market and immediately started to trade down into lower areas of value. Price action came below where 70% of all value or all volume traded within the range and came down into what we call low volume nodes, areas of low volume. What happens in areas of high volume? Price action rotates. Look, this is VPOC. Price action rotated a lot around this high volume area, more so than almost any other area except down here where we have another high volume node, right? Where we rotated a lot around. Price action, when it rotates and spends time someplace, participants enter the market consistently through that time period, creating high volume areas. Price action came down, came through, traded back up into high volume twice, and then proceeded to just move lower. Price action rejected, off the low volume area. Rejected off the low volume area. Where did it go? Back up into value area high or value area low. What does that mean? Price action rotated back into value each time it came off of this area. Even here, back to value. Price action came down and broke through those areas. What did it do first? It rotated and moved back up almost into value, into this high volume area. Price action traded back through, closed below. Here's your little range extension. This is your breakout, right? So price action broke out, immediately went into a consolidation phase, rejecting off of value area low consistently. And what does it do? Breaks back up into value. Comes down, tests back into the value area lows again, creating higher lows, right? And what does it do? Move right back into value. So what we'd be anticipating price action to do today? To come back in and trade back into higher areas of value. If price action closes below this area down here, all bets are off and we can see a continuation play to the downside. But price action, I'm anticipating, will come up to test 30,907 before it breaks out and moves into a continuation play to the downside. Let's see how the day plays out. Does that mean that I'm only going to go into long positions? No. Does it mean I have a bias? It means I have an expectation of price action continuing to move higher, knowing that at any given time, price can decide to do something different than what I would necessarily expect it to do. Because I've been around long enough to realize that the market doesn't care what I think. Okay, now let's get into I want to index yesterday's low. I want to index that low. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. This is the low of the US session. I want to index this. Here's why. If price action can come down through this low, break it, close below, we could move back into this high volume area here, this little area of low volume, and pull back. And that would not be a bad area for a short, for not a scalp, but an actual day trade or a swing trade even. That's not a bad little area to look for continuation play to the downside. Kind of like it. And then, of course, price action coming up to here will be like gold, right? Because now we're just looking for short positions all throughout here. And so now I didn't create my PMA on the 30-minute chart. I just put it on the daily chart. It doesn't matter where you're drawing your areas from or what you're using to guide you into the market. What matters is you create your plan. And if you notice, I don't go into the same plan every single day. I'm constantly adjusting my plan. And so what's happening here? We came off unfair lows, right? Look at all the volume down here. Not unfair lows. We came off of, well, yeah, these would be unfair lows because we're down here at 397 and 412. 412 is the high of this area. So 397 is right in here. So this little low here came right into unfair lows. And what happened down here? Price action created a lot of volume. What happened when we tested these lows down in here? Look at the low volume in here. Look at the low volume. If these were sellers, you would see a lot more aggressive selling coming in and you would be pushing these lows. Price action creates more volume up here. There's your long. This is your long. This is what I mean that I will take trades sometimes earlier. And this is a day I would take the trade. I didn't decide to come in here at 9:40 this morning. I decided to come in here at 9:45. So I missed this, which is fine. But this is your day trade. This is your position that you would buy into this area in here, someplace in here, somewhere. It doesn't matter where. Just buy. You're so close to the low. You could put your stop someplace even way down here and be just fine. You're not going to be risking that much. If that's too big of a risk, beautiful. What do? Go into the micros. All right? Trade 3 or 4 micros, 2 or 3, whatever it is. Use the micros to manage your risk. What are you targeting? If you're down here, the first target I would put into, I would target value area low. Why? Because of the down move that we made in the 30-minute on the day before. We could be creating a higher low in here and a pullback, especially because look here. We came into the middle of this range, the most previous consolidation period before the up move. This could act as an area of resistance. So I would want to be out here around the 464 with one contract. Where would I be targeting the next one? Way up here at VPOC at 848. My next one, way up here at 907. That's how we turn around and take a scalp trade and turn it into a day swing position. Hey, Ram, how's it going? It's good to see you. Always a pleasure, my friend. We got the band together today. Prath is in here. We've got Playboy. We got Ram. We've got Aspect. Oh, yeah. We have the band today. Love it. All right. Oh, I just moved my charts all around. I have the wrong one. Oh, so rude. Bad thing about trying to move charts around. Messes things up all the time. All right. So we know we missed the position for the long. Now we got to hunt for pullbacks to go long. And if you're long in here, let's say your worst possible position, okay? Say 430, all right? You're already up 519. Got D-Chart subscription today, playing around since morning. Ram, I love it. How do you like it so far? Just out of curiosity, I mean, how do you like it as a platform? Pull back here, high volume, expect the high to be taken out. I promise I don't have a crystal ball, guys. I really don't. You know, I'm like, you know, you have that guy, what's his name? I don't even know his name. I can't even tell you, but he's like the dog whisperer, right? It's like I'm the market whisperer or something. It's like, okay, well, yep, here we go. We're going to break this high. Boom. It just goes. At least you're not, a laptop is hanging. Yeah, it's pretty good on the processors and stuff, right? Doesn't take up a lot of computing power. It's one of the things I noticed, but I mean, I have a stupid fast computer over here. My one behind me that I do all my recordings on, that's a beast. I mean, I could throw 10 charting platforms at that thing and stream at the same time, and it would even flinch. How do you sync the boxes or lines that you draw one chart sync? I'm not telling you, Ram. You go figure it out yourself. What do you think this is? God, you're so needy. Can you see my... Sorry. I'm being a smart aleck. That was funny. Go over here to drawing tool from other chart. So if you're drawing stuff on your other charts, just go to your drawing tools, and whatever chart it is that you want it to come off of, you just pick that chart. I'm glad you find my dumb jokes kind of funny. Oh, good times, good times. All right. I'm trying to see here. These are my two off the 30. And then what do I have above me? Well, everything above me is like way the heck up there. All right. I really kind of want to go long here, but I don't think it's in the right place to go long. So I'm going to wait. I don't like the idea of waiting right now because I'm expecting this to just kind of move. But I digress and I'll wait. But I really have a feeling we're going to break the high here and go up. I think there's a higher probability of breaking this high here and testing into these higher areas than it is to break this low. I think the high is going to be broken first and move up. But now that I look at this and the delta's coming in, I'm getting my wider pullback. I'm glad I didn't enter and listen to my first analysis and I waited. Still negative delta as we're coming in, testing the open of the bar, anticipating this low to possibly break. And I really want to get in someplace down in here is where I want to get in. I really don't want to get in up here in this portion. I want down here. And I don't think it's going to give it to me. I really don't. Ah, so rude. Why doesn't it just go where I want it to go? I don't understand. If I had a leash and a shot collar for the market, I think that might be helpful. That's what I think the market needs. It needs a leash and a shot collar. And I think we would be all kinds of set up. Y'all are so polite. Y'all are calling me sir and stuff. It's like, oh my God. Don't call me sir. I work for a living. You know, the whole military thing. It's hilarious, but I appreciate it. You guys are just awesome. You know, it's so funny, right? Because a lot of people are talking about, you know, on the internet and stuff, you go streaming and things like that. And you get trolls and different things along those lines. Oh my God. I don't get those. You guys are polite. You're kind. You're friendly. Just all around good people. I'm so grateful. And even when I am, and I'm mean, you know, badger somebody, I'm like, you're so needy, right? You know, you just laugh. You guys are amazing. This is such a great community that's being built here. I'm just really, really grateful, and you guys make it that. So thank you. We got stronger volume up here. We get through that volume. We could see a buying frenzy above that. So see what I just did there? I didn't buy into here in case we rotated back down again. I bought at the area where I'm anticipating momentum to come into the market and carry this through. Now, does that mean it's going to carry through? No. I just created as much probability or favorability for that happening in the position. I don't like this. I don't like coming down and testing the lows after coming in and making these highs. I don't like taking an expense here, but my rotation lower is too far for me to be able to manage this with inventory on this contract on the NASDAQ minis. Micros, sure, not the minis. So I'm going to have to take a hit on this morning. I'm pretty sure I'm going to take a hit on it. I don't like taking a hit on it, but I don't have much of a choice in the matter because the rotation is too deep. This is why I wanted to get in around this area, because then I can manage the risk. Up here, I can't. Well, that's rude. High volume at the low. I'm waiting because I'm anticipating this low to be tested down here. So I don't want to go long in here. And sure enough, lows tested, and we're continuing lower. We're coming into these areas in here. Do I have any area in here? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I want to buy this. I want to buy this. If I get stopped out down here, I'm done for the day. I've hit my maximum risk. Ugh. Really hope that stop doesn't come down there, or price doesn't come down there. It can. Of course it can, right? It's the market. It can do anything. I don't mean that, you know, my magical number down there is like there and right. It just can't go there. No, what I mean by it is I can is we could be moving back down into this 403 area right in here, right? We could rotate into this area before we find buyers. I got in here anticipating buyers to hold this range, not to test into the lows, to hold this range. I should have gotten in with 2 and covered my 725 expense is what I should have done, but I didn't. And so now where I'm anticipating price action to go, well, we're coming off of VPOC right now. Our value, value area low at 484. So 484, which is right where the market went to, is value area low. I don't like just trading one lot. I will tell you that much. It's not my favorite thing in the world to do. Because if I was in more, I'd be out with one right here at like 83, because I always get out a little bit early to let the market carry through my limit order to get me into the profit of what I'm looking for. So if I have an 84 target, I'm looking for about 83. I don't like the lower volume in here and the high is not breaking. And if I had to and I had one off up here, I've been looking at re-entering and adding down here, utilizing the revenue to give me the risk tolerance of the position and holding it. Being in a one lot, and that's basically your maximum position because you need the rest of the inventory to be on a defensive side, makes it much more difficult to trade because you have to be right. You don't have room to trade around an area to give the market that breathing room. You have to be right. And I don't like trading where I have to be right. So I might move back into the micros again. I don't know. We'll see. We will see. This is part of the reason why I'm practicing, right? To get a feel of what it is that I like, what I can tolerate better sitting here in a streaming format and teaching in my own trading, and what am I comfortable with and what makes me more comfortable, which makes it easier for me to be able to execute around these areas live, teaching you guys and trading at the same time where I'm not missing things. Prices around previous day value. Oh yeah. Yeah, exactly. We came off of the unfair highs or unfair lows, right? So we came off of the unfair lows down here. We've been holding, creating higher lows, right? Expectations, price action to move back into the other side of value, which we already did on this bar. Yes, exactly. We can expect a bit of volatility here from the buyers, 100%, right? Possible momentum. Where's the momentum going to come in at? When we start breaking these highs, if we do. If we do, I expect price action to move up into this area, move up into here pretty swiftly. Okay. But until we do, we're still rotational. And in that rotation, right, you have to manage the risk of the rotation. This is why I like getting in off of low volume nodes and those type of things. Why? Because it's the rotation that makes it difficult to manage the risk. If you're in entries where price is expected to move away from someplace pretty quickly, at that point in time, you have it's easier to manage the risk, because you know that you're wrong, know where you're wrong, and you're getting in off of the initial momentum push. And now you're managing the position on the pullbacks with room. And why do I like this? Because we pulled right back into this previous range and held. We're not seeing the momentum come in here. We're seeing more rotational to the downside. Look at the higher volume that came in here. We can't even make a higher high. I'm not liking this position right now at all. I don't want to lose my position, but I don't want to take another large expense trade and be done for the day either. I'm going to give myself another opportunity by getting out at basically a break-even trade if this does come back down again and cycle back in for another long, or if the market decides to break, a potential short coming down through these areas. All because I do not like the fact that we are finding resistance at these highs. I don't like that at all. We should be anticipating to see momentum come in here. The momentum didn't happen. That means something else is happening. And if something else is happening at the highs, I don't know what that something else is. I'm just going to choose not to participate right now. And I have room to get back in. But the high volume here at these lows, look at the high volume comparatively to this volume here. This was much lower, right? Much higher volume. Coming right back into this high volume here, Much lower volume in here. See what happens in this area. See what happens if price comes into this area. Sellers still here. Strong sellers still in delta. Push price action back down. Now we got through these lows. We got through the lows, which is fine. I'm not worried about that being a position where I'm looking for a long after just breaking through these lows just a little bit, because we got that higher volume in, anticipating a continuation to the downside. Now we're down here into IB low again, right? But we're below this area. Now we could see some buyers stepping in here possibly. Just as we do the lows right in here. I'm going to go ahead and buy this in case we see a move back up into this area. My target is going to be around 80. 79 sounds good. And we're going to see if we can get up there. If it comes down into this area, I'm going to be out. I'm going to be looking at getting into another one. If we get below this area quickly, then I'm going to be out with both of them. And I might have to be quick on this. I'm going to move this to a stop to a break even now, only because we're here in this area of potential rejection and this low volume here. We're anticipating price action to move swiftly through this, and it's not. It's rotating in here, right? Which means that sellers can be coming into this high volume and not buyers. So I want to be out with a break even in case we snap back down again. I'm going to get into a scalp coming down here, expecting buyers to possibly step in. This is just a scalp position, something I'm looking for a quick movement off of, because I am down for the day and I need to make some revenue. Lower volume here at this low. This is a little early. It's a little early. But in case we get the snap to the upside, need to see price action move up into this area in order for this to work. I think it's going to come down. Risking 700, that still gives me enough for another position. That's fine. I'm cool with that. But I'm going to be very quick on this if it comes up into that area to take a break-even trade in case it doesn't get above that high volume, because I think this is going to continue lower. Yes, yes, yes. I do believe this is going to continue lower. That was the area right there that you wanted for a short. And I'm in a long. All right. I need to get defensive on this because of the low volume here. I'm going to try to pick up just a little bit in here to break even trade. There's a little bit of momentum. That's a good sign. I like that. Now, if this goes, that's fine. Let it go, move back, go long. The volatility coming in here, the fact that we're not making really a lot of higher highs, the fact that I'm down on the day, it's already 10 o'clock. I'm just kind of being a little aggressive with these positions right now. Now, this is an inflection point. Much lower volume here, can even make a higher high. This might be a reason to go short. I'm going to go ahead and hold this ledge right here, anticipating price action to come back down and test this low. Rotational. Come back down here. Or buyers going to come in here. Getting some buyers in here. Yeah, this might go up. I think I'm on the wrong side of this. Not liking this at all at the moment. There we go. Good. Now, if it goes, we should just go right through here and break this low. That's why I'm being pretty aggressive on this stop right now. This is going to move me into revenue for the day, which is always a good sign. Made a little audible there in the short side instead of the long side because of the volatility of the downside and the fact that we were not making any progress to the upside. Higher volume here, not a lot of higher volume down here at the low. This could be possible rejection. Let me get out of the market and look for a potential move to the upside now. I want to give us a little bit of time though. We do have this volume here. We could come down and test this volume and just move lower. But I'm expecting price action if we get above this area to possibly come back down into this area so I can get in for a possible long position. If I can't get in down here off of a long, I'm going to be looking for a long up here. Not as easy a day to trade as yesterday was. But we're still holding our own. Been trading for about 17 minutes now. Made some revenue after being down a little over 700. I don't like to take stops, but that one called for one. Do we get the pullback? I don't think so. Look at that volume right there. Oh, in retrospect, not a great entry there. Looking for a continuation down to the downside. I did this because of the way that price action was coming through and behaving. Look down here. Look at the delta. Even though we're so far down right now in this bar, look at the buying pressure. It's that buying pressure. I was anticipating some momentum coming into the market, and it just didn't do it. This is another one of those positions that could easily snap back against us again. $77. Value area low shifted down there a little bit. Still have some green delta down here, but not looking as good with us creating this volume down here because we're not getting back to the open of the bar. Not getting back to the open of the bar, anticipating this area to break. I really want to see this area test. My only issue is the way that the volume is forming in this bar. If we test down in here, we're probably breaking the low. So I need to be careful what I ask for. Came right in, tested the area again. I'm going to go ahead and get in with one more here. And I want to be out with one right about here before the break of this high. Limit my risk so I can put my stop below this area. Beautimus. Like it. Like it, like it, like it. And see if I want to risk between 700 and 1,000, I'm back to 800 on this position, right? When you look at the revenue. Yeah, I'm not liking how this is coming down at all with the rejection up here. Not even a little bit. I'm going to reduce my risk on this position greatly. And if it's going to be nice to me, I'm going to get out here and get out with another position or get back into a position higher. Because I have a feeling that this can easily come right back down again. Cancel all my positions so that way I don't have a target up here that I can get out with a stop. And now she's probably going to go, which is fine. Over managing the positions a little bit here, only because I can't get in with any form of size down here to really get into a really nice position. I got in here from the highs, came down, right? Came down, tested into the high volume, but look at the very little low volume down here. And then looking for the quick momentum play outside of this area. Here's our rotation, right? I had to manage the risk in the rotation down here. And then now this is that area where I'm looking for a continuation play to the upside. It did stop me out there. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get back in here because we still have sell pressure on the day. I am anticipating this to go back up to VPOC to test those highs, but it may not. This might be the failure to the upside, and it might be time for me to actually take a position again to the short side. I don't want to take an expense on this in case we get buyers stepping in. I'm anticipating some buyers step back in again down here. So I want to be out right here at this ledge, at this shelf. And if you look at where I'm entering the positions and what I'm doing, if this market actually breaks out of this range at some point in time, I'm probably going to be in, and I'm going to be in at the moment where we're going to get some momentum coming in, and I'm going to take a pretty good trade. In the meantime, I'm just trying to cover the expense that I had, right? And get myself back into revenue so I have some of the market's money to be able to manage some of this risk with. Because trading in this area, there is risk. High volume down there, weren't able to break the lows until we did. Price actions coming back down again into this area. Price actions making another higher high, very low volume down here. I wanted to go long down in here. I just didn't see the volume starting to accumulate, so I didn't. We have a strong delta in here off of these pullbacks. So I'm anticipating price action to possibly come back down and test lows. But I'm in an area here where I'm anticipating price action to go up. Not easy trading in here. Not easy trading at all. But you manage your risk, right? So I'm looking for a continuation play down here possibly. And this is probably where the momentum to the upside is going to come in. I don't want to give this a lot of room. I don't want to give a lot of my profits back. Yep. And now I'm going to reverse. And now I'm going to go long because of that pop. That pop that just happened there went boom, 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 boom. Now I'm anticipating rotation to the upside through this area to test back into these highs. but it needs to happen pretty quickly. See what I mean? If I can manage my risk well enough in this chop, right? Not allow myself to get completely chopped up in this area, be able to trade it properly, right? I will be in at the right time when the momentum comes in. And I think I just said that a few minutes ago before this move even happened. I'm anticipating a pullback into this high here, and then for buyers to step back in again and test back into this higher rotation. If not, we're going to come down into this lower rotation down here and possibly come back up into here. What do we do? Test into the highs, didn't get much below it, testing back in here. Now, if buyers are strong, we're going to break these highs. If not, we're going to rotate back down in here, which is going to put us probably back into here. If these highs break, I move my stop up here, but not until the highs break. And when I say highs break, I'm talking about the intraday bar, the high of the intraday bar. Well, intra bar, this current bar. Here's a rotation down here. Now expecting a test into here. I want us to trail this up now because now we're rotational and not directional in momentum. So I might as well lock in as much profit as I possibly can in the position because we're no longer in a market where I'm anticipating volatility coming into the market. This is much more rotational now. Can it go without me? 100%. And if it does, it's just one of those days. This was not near as easy as the day before. But we've survived it. So far, anyhow. Looking for momentum again. Swear I'm going to get this area. I am going to get this area again today. If the market goes up there, I'm going to get it. She's just not playing nice today. Oh, really? Really? One tick. Oh, that was rude. That was just mean. That wasn't even rude. That was just mean. Not playing nice at all. You see that? One tick away. One tick. I'm going to be a dick for a tick too because it moved too quick. Too quick. Oh, this market today. She is just not playing nice. And threaten to leave her for the ES. Goodness. Before this year, I got back into trading in April. before this year, I only traded the Russell and the ES. I never traded the Nasdaq, but the Nasdaq today is like the Russell was then. It was kind of the market that you went to when you needed volatility. But I used to trade 18 lots in the Russell and 25 in the ES. And here I am just trying to manage positions off of one contract in the NQ. It's ridiculous. Trading one lots, man, it's hard. It is hard. I didn't realize that I forgot that trading one lots was this hard. God, it's ridiculous. So if any of you out there trading one lots, and this is what you do, as a profession, or trying to create a profession out of this, take my hat off to each and every one of you. This is not easy trading. We get the momentum. I could move this down a little bit. I almost feel like I should. It's not going to take me down now, though. It's going to. Looks like it wants to cycle down lower. You know what? I'm actually going to cancel this. I think there's going to be momentum here. I think we're going to pop this high, and I think the market's going to run. I think we're going to run right through here. Oh, good times. You can stop me out now. 14:05 on the day. I think I'm done on this day. This was trading. So ridiculous. God. We couldn't even get, a decent amount of momentum coming out of this high. This was not an easy day to trade. Not an easy day to trade at all. And I didn't make my expectancy. So now I need a $2,600 day to come up so I can hit my daily expectancy for the month. Good times. Are we ready for another day? Anybody have any questions, comments, concerns? I confuse anybody? Anybody like, man, this guy can't trade. He's ridiculous. Why am I watching him? Because if you have those comments, share them, please. Let me get better. Let's see. Ram, what are you talking about here? On 954 breakout bar, what would be ideal scenario to enter short on price pullback? What are the key level? Okay, let's go back to that real quick. Am I at 1706? No, we already adjusted it. I should have waited let's go back to that particular day. That was the 17th, right? And you're looking at the 954. So if you're looking at the 954, let's move forward just a little bit. Oh, I'm waiting for a bar here. So let's just go to 10. Well, let's go to 10. Wait, let's go to 10. That should give us enough reason. And I like this. I like this, Ram. I like the pinpointing, right? This is really what makes the practice really viable and good, right? We know what we did. We know the results, right? How do we make it better? And sometimes as like I'm sitting behind the charts, right? I don't necessarily see all of that information at that time. So you're looking at the 956 and 956 breakout bar. So you're looking at this bar right here. So the breakout bar to the downside. Okay. What would be ideal scenario to enter short on the price pullback? Okay. Let's go forward here a little bit and let's just see what price does moving forward. Let's speed this up. I'm not trying to trade it. I'm not doing anything else, right? This is the up move. This is the move that continues to go up. Okay. This is why I wanted to see this. You're asking, what would be ideal scenario to enter short on price pullback? Okay. Here's the problem. I can't answer that because I wouldn't be looking for a short move here. I was looking for some scalps between these two areas only because I was down on the day, and this range here, I'm looking for the buyers to hold, the sellers to possibly come in and move price back down in here to hold, then I'm looking for my long area again to be able to move price back up. Okay. So if you tried to shorten here, you would have had to hold it past IB high. If you want to go short in here with this close bar here to go short on the 956, look for pullbacks into the low volume node here and look for short positions to the downside. But be very careful with that because you're still trading an overall value off of the 30-minute chart. And if you're trading a value in the 30-minute chart, you should be anticipating rotation higher, not a continuation play to the downside, because the market's not in an imbalanced market condition. And you would, by shorting down here, you're saying that the market's going to trend down. But the market hasn't told us it's trending down. The market has told us it's in value. And it's trading around value, and it's holding value, and it's continuing to hold value. And then we move up into IB. I just wasn't able to hold on to it. Not with my one lot. I'm not that good. I'm not that good of a trader in order to be able to hold that through this period here. Does that help answer your question? It's hard for me because I understand your question. It's this market condition. I can't go short down here because it's not part of my plan to. And if you're trying to learn auction market theory, I'm trying to tell you that looking short in this area here may not be your best bet. In other words, please don't look short there anymore. But you're an adult. You can make your own decisions. Any other questions, comments, or concerns? Anybody still out there? Being like, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. Oh, that was a difficult day. That day was not one of the more fun days to trade. I have to remember that day. All right, we're going to go to the 18th. 18th, we're going to go to 0930 this morning. On this particular day, the reason why I'm going to 0930 is in case we are into these areas again, and we want to be off of them, and we want to trade off of them, off the first move of the test, not the subsequent. And then we can see if price action moved to value area high or not on the 30-minute perspective on that particular day. How did you get volume profile for each 2-minute candle? Which indicator did I use? So if you come over here to your deep print and your ask split, and then your input data, volume. I think. Isn't that what I did? I don't know. Wait, oh, my thing over there is working. Yeah. The volume for the input. I believe that's what I did. Try that. If that doesn't work, then no, that's not it. Oh, this. Yeah, this. Says is that CFVP. It's this little button down here at the bottom of the chart. Just turn the CFVP on right there. And then that's what gives you the volume. Oh, but now I don't have the little profiles anymore. Oh, what happened? Oh, no. Oh, no, 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 no. No, I don't like this. I don't want this. That's not what I want. Did I just break my indicator? Ugh. No, thank you. Oh, no, 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 no. Damn it. Okay. How did I get that on there? Because that... Oh, no, you're fine. No worries. Um, you know what? All else fails, I'm going to try something. Oh, but I don't know if this is going to work or not either. Oh, I might just really break everything right now. We're going to find out. I mean, worst case scenario, right? Cross our fingers. Hope it works. I'm so sorry. That came up quickly. I didn't have a chance to mute my mic. I hope I didn't break anybody's eardrums. Well, after that day, I need a day that's like a pretty good day. Sorry, it's taken a minute to get everything back up again. I'm trying to get my footprints back with the volume. Mm-mm. Nope, I didn't save it. Okay. Well, now I have work to do. Now I got to build my chart back again because I need that volume. I can't do it off of this. I still have a chart that's loading, so it's going to take a second. But I think I have our answer, Ram. I think. And that chart froze. because I think I was in trying to change this chart too much when that one was still building. I think I just broke deep charts. And I can't do anything on it right now, so I might have to restart it again. Well, this is a bummer. It won't even let me restart it right now. Okay, well, we're going to give it a three-finger salute, and we are going to tell it to go away. I'm going to end task. Okay. Hopefully I can open it up without having to do a restart to my machine. So if I have to restart my machine, I'm probably just going to go ahead and end the stream today. I don't want to, but I broke it. I broke it. And next time I get this up, I'm going to make sure I save it so I don't have to worry about this again. Yeah, Deep Charts isn't coming up at all now. I think I'm going to have to restart my whole machine. Well, this is rude. See, Ram, good job. Good job, Ram. I hope you know I'm just messing with you. Oh, that's twice today. Twice. I've been a smart aleck towards you. I am so sorry. Cheeky. That's what our friends across the pond would call it, right? Cheeky. I'm just being cheeky. Nobody likes a cheeky person. Whatever. Whatevs. Okay, here we go. Just had to give it a second. Now, I'm not going to touch it until all my charts are loaded. Oh. Here, you guys can see my little introduction. Well, one of them. One of the introductions I was trying to create, and now I just start streaming. I don't even have an introduction. Thank me, you will remember to save Tiplet now. Exactly, I know. Probably not, though. I have a tendency to be a slow learner of lessons. I'm a little stubborn and thick-headed. All right, everything's syncing right now. You guys can probably see them just having little circles, building charts. At least one of them's building right now. And the other thing is that's good about this too is I'm not going to forget next time, right? I'll remember how to do this now. But it would be better if I saved it. It would make it easier. Okay, footprints up. I'm not touching it. I'm waiting for the daily profile to build first. And it stopped thinking again. Okay, good. Okay, it's up. Now, let's get into this. And I need my deep print, and we need to go into data settings. Well, it's already set to that. No, this is not what I want either anyhow. Oh my God. Okay. How do I fix this? Nope, already tried that. No, definitely not. Okay. Change the display from cluster to profile or histogram. Okay. So change the display cluster. Well, where's the display cluster at? I would love to, but I don't. Here's the volume. Auto grouping is fine. Plot settings. Outside bar is a candle, sure. Border width, font size, dynamic, yeah. Point of control. Border color, yeah. Value area, yeah. Alert. Single print, ratio. Nope. I don't know. I don't know how to get it back. Not the way I had it. I don't want it like the way it's showing right now. I can't do what I do with it on that. Select volume profile data in the settings. Find the volume profile type from volume profile setting. Oh, profile. Well, no, I want profile, bar relative, volume. Nope. Nope. Yeah, I don't know. Looks like I'm going to have to go back to reading the bid ask again. I don't want to, but I think I'm going to have to because I don't know how to fix my chart now. It's broken and I can't use this because I can't see it near as well. It might be under deep profile too, though. Let me look. I don't even have a deep profile on. Maybe that's why. Let's go ahead and go into volume and go into deep profile. I just want to look and see what it has to say. Ask bid volume, maybe. Let's just see what happens if I... Let's close this real quick. Let's take that off and let's just see what happens if I do... Deep print, okay. So indicators, volume, deep profile. I think it might have something to do with this, but I don't know. Well, that's already on, so it has nothing to do with that because it's not showing anyhow. Yeah, it's not changing it. Maybe if I turn it back on here, maybe it will. No. I don't know. I don't know. I broke my chart now, and I don't know how to fix it. Let's see. No. I don't want to composite. Multiple. No, it's not. I gotta be able to turn it into a histogram somehow, and I'm not sure how to do that. Dang it. I don't know. I do not know. Sorry about that, everybody. Give me a minute here. I'm just trying to get my chart back on it. Somebody had a question about my chart, and I clicked a button, and it came off, and I don't know how to fix it at the moment. And I really need it because it helps me a lot. A lot. Yeah, I can't use this. I mean, I can use it. I just don't. I don't like it as well. Dang it. Oh, you know what? Is this it? No, that's not how I had it before at all. I mean, I guess this might work. We can try it and see. Oh, you know what? It's on box, so maybe it has something to do with that. It's profile, bar relative. There was something that said box. Oh, this did. Mirror profile? It's closer. What's the difference? Okay, so the numbers are coming out. You know what? That actually, I don't know. Let's try it. See what happens. Okay, let's get back into this. Sorry, everybody. Had a little bit of a technical difficulty there. Still not exactly where I want it to be, but I think it might work. Rude. Okay. So we were on what? The 17th? What day are we on? Was that the 17th that we just did? I think so. Oh, this is still July. I won't even show up because it's not even a day. June 2026, 09/30. On the 17th. Okay, we're on the 17th of June. All right. Thank you. Appreciate that, Ram. Okay. I'm not going to be able to see the clusters as well on this. So we'll see how it works out. I don't know. I don't know. Don't like it near as much, but we'll try it. Hey, Jerry, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Truly, truly appreciate you and the likes. All right, let's get into this. Is it playing? No. Did I break something else? It just doesn't like me right now. It doesn't like me at all at the moment. Let's see here. I'm on June 18th, though. I need to be on the 17th, right? See, I'm all kinds of discombobulated now. Look at me. I don't even know what life is at the moment. Ridiculous. All right, so we have 17 June 2026 at 09:30. Let's see if it sets now. No, something's... Dang it. All right, well, I'm having technical difficulties now with the charting platform. I can't get my profiles back to the way I wanted to. My process here is kind of broken at the moment. Dang it. Well, Jerry, you like the live, and I can't even do anything for you right now. I am so sorry. Let me try this one more time. Because my charts aren't even updating right now with... Yeah, it's not doing anything. I think I need to I don't want to save this now. Oh man. Okay, let's see if that works. I'm going to try it again. And if it doesn't work this time, then I'm just going to have to end the stream, unfortunately. Reset my computer. Maybe I'll come back on. I don't know. We'll see. Got some other things I need to do today, too. Unfortunately, I can't spend all day trading. I have to record some videos and stuff, too. My team that works on all my video editing and stuff is going to get upset with me if I don't have new videos. You see on the screen the charts are building. I don't like the double profiles on here that I have right now. I don't like the way that that chart looks at all. Oh, and I have no idea how to fix it right now. But I'm also on no, I don't like this one either. So we're going to go back to this screen here. Okay. Well, let's see if I can get the replay going and see if I can even trade off of these charts right now. Because I don't like how this footprint looks right now at all. And I'm not quite sure exactly how to fix it. I don't like how big my... I don't like how, like... God, this is a mess. All right. Let's see. How do I fix these? They look right. Yeah, I don't even know. My dots are all weird. Everything is all weird right now. Okay, let me go into deep print again. I just want a profile. Jerry, you're awesome. I hope you're still here. I'm so sorry that I'm having some technical issues at the moment. I'm just having issues. Yeah, see, no, they're still here. And oh, man. Um, I think it's because I added this. Does it take that off? Yeah, close enough. So let's go ahead and try this, I guess. I don't know. I don't like how this looks at all, but we're going to try it and see what happens. Let's go ahead and hit reset. I definitely don't like how big those circles are. Yeah, the replay is not working right now. All right, guys. Well, I apologize for the technical difficulties here. Kind of annoyed at the moment. I need to reset my machine. I need to figure out how to fix these volume profiles and get my stuff back in order again. So let me go ahead and go offline. If I can get all that stuff done in a timely manner, I'll be back later on this afternoon or this evening to go through more days. Jerry, thank you so much for being here. I do apologize. Thank you for the likes too. Um, I do apologize that I'm having the issues that I'm having, but I will do my best to get back on here this afternoon. If not, it will be tomorrow at 2 p.m. Thank you so much for being here, everybody. I truly appreciate you. Until next time, be safe, be kind, and know that you too are loved. Thank you. Enjoy, everyone.